Hey gardening friend, welcome back to Gingerfoot Garden. If you're looking to make the most out of your small space garden, you've come to the right place. Today we're diving into my 10 tips to grow crisp and delicious celery even in the tiniest gardens. But before we get into it, let's learn a little fun facts about celery. Celery belongs to the Apiaceae family, which includes carrots, parsley, and parsnips. It is known for its high water content, refreshing crunch, and slightly peppery flavor. It is used in a variety of culinary applications such as salads, soups, stews, and as a low-calorie snack. Celery is rich in vitamins and minerals like vitamins K, vitamin C, potassium, and folate. The plant's leaves, seeds, and roots are also edible and have been used for medicinal purposes. I have a few favorite celery varieties that I love to grow. First up is tall Utah celery. It has deep green stalks and a nice compact shape. What's great about this variety is that it's self-blanching, so you don't have to do anything extra to get that pale green color. Next is red celery. As the name suggests, this one has red stalks that add a pop of color to salads, soups, and stews. It has a more robust flavor than regular celery, which I really enjoy, especially for making broths. Lastly, there's Chinese pink celery, which has thinner, more fragrant stalks. I grow this one mainly for its leaves, which has a strong, pungent taste. Now let's get into growing celery. Tip number 1 is to start seeds indoors. Start your celery seeds indoors 10 to 12 weeks before the last frost. Celery grows slowly, so giving it a head start indoors ensures your plant will be ready to transplant when the weather warms up. Tip number 2, spacing is key. Even in a small garden, it's important to give your celery enough space. Make sure to plant them about 8 to 10 inches apart so they have room to grow healthy and strong. If you plant them too close together, they might not grow well, so try not to squeeze them in too tightly. If you're growing celery in a container, be sure the pot is big enough for the roots to spread. Tip number 3, keep them hydrated. Celery are thirsty plants. Keep the soil consistently moist but not waterlogged. To make it easier, you can use a drip irrigation system or soaker hoses to keep the moisture steady, especially during those hot summer days. Water deeply to ensure the roots get what they need. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, please give this a thumbs up and leave a comment below if you've grown celery before. I'd love to hear about your experience. Tip number 4, mulch for moisture retention. Mulching around your celery plants help retain water and keep the roots full. A layer of wood chips, leaves, or grass clippings will do the trick and also help prevent weeds from taking over. Tip number 5, feed your plants regularly. Celery needs a lot of nutrients, so be sure to give it a little boost throughout the season. Feeding it with a balanced liquid fertilizer every 2 to 4 weeks will help keep your plants healthy and growing strong. Tip number 6, provide shade in hot weather. Celery grows well in cooler weather, so if you're gardening in a hot area, give it some afternoon shade to prevent it from bolting, which is when the plant tries to flower or go to seed too soon. Using a shade cloth is an easy way to keep your celery cool and growing well. Tip number 7, intercrop. Celery gets along well with plants like beans, cabbage, and tomatoes. Its strong scent can help keep pests away. I've personally planted celery alongside beans and summer squash, and they work great together. In the hot summer months, the taller plants give the celery some much-needed shade on those scorching days. Tip number 8, watch for pests. Watch out for common celery pests like slugs. Regularly check your plants and take action right away if you spot any pests. For slug problems, I use slug bait. It's an easy fix. This bait often contains ingredients like bran and molasses to attract slugs. You can sprinkle them around your garden or walkways. Once the slug eats the bait, they stop feeding and eventually die. To keep things safe for your pets and garden, look for slug baits that uses iron phosphate. Tip number 9, harvest at the right time. Harvest your celery when the stalks are about 6 to 8 inches tall and feel firm to the touch. Another way to harvest is by picking the outer leaves regularly to prolong the harvest. Tip number 10, let it flower. After enjoying your celery for a few months, let the plant flower. The flowers attract helpful insects like bees and hoverflies, which benefits your garden. Celery is a biennial plant, meaning it grows lush leaves and crunchy stalks in the first year, and then flowers, seeds, and dies the second year. If you plant celery in the spring and let it overwinter, it will flower the next year, reseed itself, and give you new seedlings, making it very easy to grow celery year after year. Finally, my bonus tip, regrow. You can regrow celeries from kitchen scraps. Just save the root end of a bunch by saving about 2 inches. Place it in water to root or plant it directly in the soil. The center stalk will start to grow new celery stalk that you can harvest until it eventually flowers. And there you have it, 10 tips to grow celery in a small space garden. I hope these tips help you achieve a bountiful harvest. If you found this video helpful, give this a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to Gingerfoot Garden for more gardening tips and tricks. Happy gardening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.